Hello, good evening. This is High Priestess Jamila, and I'm back. If you are new to the channel, hit that thumbs up and subscribe and click the bell notifier. This is my second session of doing chat questions today, and I meant to come back earlier, but I hope that I'm right on time because I've been super busy. Okay. So, how are you guys tonight? We are looking at a full moon. Thank you for the love and the thumbs up. Hello, Colleen. Hello, Orion's daughter. Hey, thank you. You guys have been amazing too, because it's been quite a journey for me. Okay. Especially with being a sensitive psychic high priestess on YouTube. Okay. It has its drawbacks, but it's worth it. So, we're doing the same thing, $10 to Cashapp, to my cash $ psychic Jamila. And I will do a chat question for you. Now, if you want a full reading, you can offer $30 via Cash App, and I will give you a full reading. It'll be tomorrow though. Okay. And that would be a full 30-minute reading. Okay. And I'm doing good, Colleen. Thanks for asking. So to kick this off, we're going to do like a universal general reading just to kind of look at the universal energies, just to see what, what is out there, who is out there, or who's watching. Make sure that you guys hit that thumbs up. Thank you. Please and thank you. I appreciate that. Like I said, if you don't have Cash App, it's really simple. You just download it, sign up, takes minutes, and then you can send me the payment via Cash App. You can also visit for consultations, but you can do what you will. Okay. If you want to go to the website and schedule a regular reading, a private reading, that's fine. If you want to use Cash App to pay for your private reading, that's fine as well. What I do is I will send you a booking link to schedule your appointment. Okay. And you'll be able to get on my schedule as early as tomorrow. Okay. All right. So we're going to call to the spirit guides, ancestors, guardian angels, ascended masters. What universal message do you have out for those out there for today? What time is it? Okay, so it is Sunday, October the 13th. Okay, spirits, what message for this full moon? Are y'all enjoying this full moon? I know I am. The energies are so positive. I don't know about you guys, but they've been positive for me. Probably because I just did a cleansing. Okay. The full card reversed. Okay. All right, let's lay out. Ooh, a lot of cards came up. Okay. An energy shift for a lot of different people to where you're a new beginning. And so there's a new way of living in general for everybody, because Page of Wands is right next to it. But the one thing that I want y'all to know is that trust is very valuable. So the full card is talking about trust in the universe, trust in your spirit guides, trust in the direction that they are taking your life right now. Okay. Uh-oh, I'm sorry. Colleen, if you want a private reading with me, you can pay by Cash App and we can get you something scheduled for tomorrow. Okay. You don't have 10:30 if you want a private reading. If you guys, because everybody, you know what I'm saying? So with the Cash App thing, you guys can either do 10, 20, or 30. But if you do 20 or 30, probably want to do that private, like a private reading. I know a lot of people prefer the chat readings too. So it's up to you. Just, say what you want. Going back to this reading. Trust is very important. In fact, not having trust when you're in relationships, when you are doing anything in life, kills it all. Lack of trust. So, having trust is very important. It's going to affect the way you communicate. It's going to affect the way you feel. It's going to affect your entire life, whether or not you have trust or not. Okay. Give you patience. Trust will give you and integrity. I've found that people trust issues tend to have every issue that you could possibly think of in life: money, love issues, and everything else. Now, I know that you're thinking, well, there's nobody to trust out there. And so I get that. So the one thing that I think that we need to remember universally is that if nobody is trusting anybody, then how are we gonna ever get anywhere and accomplish anything? At the very least, you want to have trust in the universe and trust in God, or whether or not it's a higher power. I believe that trust creates miracles. Okay. This is keeping many of you stuck. The Seven of Wands comes up reversed. So, first of all, you got to have trust in yourself. And I feel like in order to have trust in yourself, I feel like you got to, at the very least, have trust in the universe. Okay. Yeah, exactly. What's up, Deisha Jackson? Hello, good evening. All right. So, like I said, this is keeping a lot of you stuck, and it's keeping you in a mode where you can't really grow. Yes, we do have a lot of narcissistic people out there that are disconnected from their emotions. It's very difficult to not allow these people to affect you. It's very difficult. But in this day and age, I feel like we all have to be able to stand on our own 2 feet and stand in our own power. Okay. So Queen of Wands is talking about how there's a lot of people who have probably dealt with people that didn't appreciate them, and it kind of sticks to you, and it causes you to change the way you see God, and it causes you to change the way you see your higher powers, or your the higher aspects, or even your ability to manifest the things that you want in life. It's affecting that. It's affecting you in every aspect of life. Okay. First of all, another thing, spirits feel as though a lot of people could work on your communication with self, the way you're communicating everything. Negative talk, negative language is going to always keep you stuck. Yeah, it's going to always keep you stuck. So, and this can even be when you're talking about other people, not just yourself, when you're talking about other people. This is something that I've been learning, especially the last couple of weeks, big time the past month or two, to where I don't want to speak of or speak about things that I don't want. So, it's all about that law of attraction. So, if you're focused constantly on what you don't have, then you can't really focus on what you want to manifest. Okay. So too many people are focusing on what they don't have, or either you're focusing on the negative way too much. This is holding people back. Page of Cups comes up, King of Coins. This is also talking about people in their relationship with money. Okay, because the King of Coins does represent money. Having a better relationship with money. If you have a negative relationship with money, and you also think in terms of it's not enough, there's not enough on the planet. I know that there's a lot of people that literally, the Four of Cups is when somebody is giving up. Okay, that's when somebody is giving up. If you want to manifest your money, you can't talk a certain way. You can't say, oh, well, I can't afford that, or I'll never be able to afford that. Or, those things you need to rebuke. You need to speak the things that you want into existence and have more positive affirmations, because speaking the things that you want has a very powerful effect over your life when you're speaking what you want and not speaking of things that you don't want. Okay, so Page of Cups and the King of Coins, they both work hand in hand, because the Page of Cups, this person is going to speak of abundance. Okay, Page of Cups is going to speak positively. Okay, now the Ace of Wands comes up. So this is very different from where a lot of people came from where a lot of people grew up. A lot of us grew up, and yes, our parents or the people that raised us, they had a very limited view on life. They had a very limited view on everything. 20 or 30 years ago, well, more like 50 years ago, everybody felt that you couldn't get anywhere in life unless you had a college degree, unless you had a perfect family. But we all know that that's not true. So, you can manifest the things that you want, and you can rise above where you came from. And see, the Ace of Wands is all about having your own identity. That can be very difficult. This is something that's very difficult, because when you come from a certain place, you're going to identify with your family members. You're going to identify with those people that you grew up with, but you've got to have your own identity. You can't necessarily identify with that. You can say, hey, this is where I came from, but look at where I'm going. So it's truly not about where you came from. It's about where you're going. And not just saying, oh, well, I hope this happens. You need to speak it and know that the universe and your spirit guides are going to provide it. Okay? And this has worked for me. This has worked for me for the past 3 years. Okay? The Lovers comes up. So I feel like the Lovers does represent relationships. I feel as though when people when you find your north, I feel like this is when you're ready for a relationship. Okay, because this is when you can say, okay, I know who I am. Now I got to go seek a partner. Okay, that's number one. Because if I'm 42 years old, I can honestly say that the people that I dealt with back when I didn't know myself, it was a disaster. I didn't know who I was. I had no idea. I had no idea who I was for such a long time. And, I was one of those people that was really, really kept close to I was taught to not have friends outside of the family. Anybody that was a friend was shunned, and all that stuff. But Lovers is a crossroads, and then the Two of Cups comes up. So this is all about happiness, ships, but it's not just about relationships. It's about loving yourself. So universally, the Two of Cups is representing self-love and not the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is probably somebody that has too much self-love, okay? Now, there's going to be times when, yeah, you're definitely going to have to activate those self-love receptors, but you don't want to come across to people as being one of those type of people that, because this is going to open up doorways in your love life as well. It is. It's going to open up doors in your love life. Not just your love life. I feel like it's got something to do with the finances, okay? I'm learning to get in the energy of what it is I truly need and want, what I need. Yeah, and then align yourself with it. If it's anything that you want, you have to align yourself with it. And I'm sorry, people that don't align yourself with people that don't want the same thing that you want. It makes sense. So, diversity is good, but I think that when you have certain goals that you're trying to achieve, you got to eliminate that and say, hey, I got some things that I got to do. I got some personal goals that I have. And, your energy is just not working for me. It just, Page of Cups is talking about not being naive when it comes to people. If you can see somebody blatantly trying to destroy the things that you're working hard for, it's probably a good idea to get rid of them and to assert yourself and say, hey, you got to go. I'm not properly aligned up with you because you don't want the same things that I want. And then don't be aligned with people that don't want the same things for you that you want for yourself, because guess what's going to happen? If people want something different for you than you want for yourself, they're going to create struggle. They're going to create blockages. Everywhere you go, they'll be steadily blocking you. Okay, so make sure you guys don't do that, because the Ace of Wands is a very, very powerful card. This is the card when you break free. And it's right up underneath the Seven of Wands. I feel like a lot of you guys are stuck. And you may even feel powerless. Queen of Wands is telling me that a lot of you feel powerless. Okay, which is why the Seven of Wands comes up. But I feel like there's certain emotional blocks that need to be let go of, and then finally you'll blossom, because that Ace of Wands is a very, very powerful card. Okay, clarify King of Coins. Okay, guys, if you're coming into the room, you can send me $10 by Cash App, and I will do about a 10-minute chat reading for you. If you guys want private readings, you can pay more, or if you want a quick reading in private, then you can just let me know, hey, I'd rather have my reading in private. I do offer phone, video, as well as Skype readings, but my video readings are priced kind of differently. So if you guys want a video reading, just go to the website. Okay. You can also pay by Cash App as well. You can pay for anything by Cash App. It's just not spell work. Okay. I'm not doing that anymore. Because I'm fairly new at Cash App, and they like, whoa, wait a minute, where's all this money coming from? Cash App said, and they say, you got too much money coming in here. All right, clarify King of Coins. I bet you he's gonna tell you the same thing that I just told you. Yep, Page of Swords and the Tower reversed. The Tower reminds me of the Fate card. And I feel like the message that's coming in is that your fate is what you make it. But also another thing, stop dealing with people that do not serve And they don't have to serve it. Like, they don't have to serve you. Nobody's saying that. But if they don't share in, the same interests, I mean, they can have different interests, but if they have like some sort of intent to try to stop you or slow you down, okay? You know what, Colleen? I'm going to do your reading for you. Thank you for the super chat. But guys, I'm going to discourage you guys. I meant to say that. Thank you. Go ahead and post your question. I'm going to run downstairs and warm up my coffee. Hold off on the super chats, guys. Send it through Cash App, okay? Because I only get like literally I'm only going to get like $4 of that $10 that you sent me. So I would prefer for you guys to go to Cash App, but I'll go ahead and do your reading. Go ahead and post your question, and I will be right back. Okay, give me a second, you guys. I need more coffee. Okay, bear with me. Oh, sorry about that, child. That was kind of some scary music. Sorry about that, you guys. I apologize. Look, a lot of people done walked in. They done left like, what is this? What is this scary thing this woman is playing? Sorry about that, y'all. Okay, cool, cool. Okay. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna start with Colleen. Okay, and then I'm gonna get to your question. Okay. Ryan's daughter, thank you so much for the Cash App. Guys, hold out. Okay, let me just say this before I do her reading. Please hold out on donating to the super chat because I don't get like, I'll probably get like under half of that. So if y'all could donate to the Cash App for your readings, I would appreciate it. Okay. Also, if you need a consultation, go to the website or either you can pay for your consultation via Cash App as well. Okay. Oh, you like that one by Kali Ma? Well, I'm gonna turn it down so that. Okay. Okay. No, you don't need to apologize. I should have said it. I am so sorry. Yeah, I should have specified it. Okay. All right. What is going on with my relationship? Will we reconcile soon or is this just done? Um, if you don't mind posting the two of your zodiac signs in the chat, please. You and the person you want to reconcile with, Colleen. Go ahead and post the zodiac signs in there for me, okay? It is cleansing, isn't it? I love that Kali Ma mantra. It is so it's a very powerful, it's very powerful to read to, chant Kali Ma. So okay, thank you. All right, spirit guides for Colleen Bradshaw. What messages do you have for Colleen about her relationship? Will she reconcile? Show me what's going on currently. Show me Colleen. Show me her ex. What are the energies between the two of them? Anything? Show me three things from the past and three things in the future. I see an air sign in the mist. Okay. Thanks for the info, Colleen. Okay. Three things in the past, three things in the future. Are you seeing a reconciliation? Okay, thank you, spirits. Okay. So there's definitely a serious issue here. The card to represent you, Colleen, is the Five of Swords reversed. And then the card to represent the other person you're asking about is the Hanging Man. The energies between the two of you is the Ten of Swords. So, what I feel is going on is that what I feel is going on. Thank you, Orion's daughter. Did you just send me a second payment? Appreciate it. Okay. Ten of Wands is in the reverse position as the energies between the two of you. And so this means that the relationship seemed to have overburdened. It had a lot of burden involved with it. It's either, I feel like it's on your side. I feel like this has something to do with your side. Okay, because you come up as the Five of Swords reversed. The Ten of Wands is in the reverse position because there was some burden that was caused that I feel is on your side of the family. So you may have something generational connected to you. Let me ask you a question. Did your parents divorce? Thank you, Orion's daughter. Thank you. Did you want to do a private 20-minute reading with me then? Or we can do it right now. Yeah, I can see that. Um, I feel like looking just the energies and the vibrations that I'm getting with the Five of Swords reversed. I feel like there's some spiritual work. Yeah, see, and I think that part of that has something to do, because I was going to say it has something to do with your father. Okay. Now, I can see that you definitely managed to keep things together for a while. Spirits clarify, Ten of Wands. Okay, yeah, see the Three of Swords. There's some sort of repeated pattern, I feel, that it's on your side mainly. And I feel like he couldn't deal with it. There was some energies that he couldn't deal with that I feel was coming from your side of the family. And the hanging man comes up because he wasn't sure if he could pull through with it. Okay. Okay. Okay, cool. Cool. Well, I look forward to that. I love doing those. They're so liberating. The energies with the generational hex removers are they are so wonderful. I love doing that ritual. Okay. Okay, Orion's daughter. There's definitely something generational that's happening. And I feel like it's tied into your father. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's your father's fault, but I feel like it's some sort of energy that causes relationships to get torn down and for them to not work out. Clarify this hanging man. Okay, so the moon comes up in the reverse position. So he has his issues on his side as well, which is more than likely his mommy issues. And he may be very sensitive. I feel like you're sensitive as well, but I feel like there's some sensitivity and, maybe somebody that just couldn't deal with the situation at that time. Okay. Now, in the past, the star card, the six of cups reversed, and then the seven of coins. So I can see the difficulty in the past, but then the star card comes up. This might be that air sign person that I was seeing. Who is this? Okay. So are you aware or were you aware that there was somebody else in the picture? Were you aware of that at all? Because I can see a third party. Was he cheating? Somebody, I feel like it was some cheating that was going on. I feel like that person is an air sign. He's got mommy issues though. And see, men that have mommy issues, they have a hard time sticking with a relationship. Okay. So when a man has issues with his mama, he will have issues with all women. So, and it really depends on how he was raised. Okay, it really depends on that. Give me some clarity on the moon card. I can tell that this is a very complicated situation. Okay, yeah, the high priestess comes up and then, okay. Definitely some deception on his end. I feel like someone else caught his eye, and I feel like the situation started to have issues to where, he probably felt like he maybe have found a better situation or either a less difficult situation. I feel like a lot of the spiritual issues were kind of kept under the table. So there was always something that was lying beneath. And I feel like it's got to be childhood memories, either on his side, your side, or both sides. There was some sort of childhood issue because Six of Cups comes up reversed. Definitely can see some deception on his part. Um, wow, this is really complicated. And I'm trying to find like where I can find the correct answer, but I'm just going to look forward in the future since your question was, will you get back together? And I think that I feel like people, I feel like the two of you had a tendency to get back together, but you didn't really work out the issues that you had. You didn't really work them out. You kind of just avoided them instead of talking about it, instead of talking it out. I feel like the issues were avoided. But I can see that it's a possibility that you could get back together in the future. But I feel like there would have to be some changes that would need to be made. And this Four of Cups that's in the reverse position in the future, that comes right after the Tower, I feel like the all of those negative emotions that were avoided for a very long time in the relationship are going to be addressed. Otherwise, it could be over for a while. Okay, at least. The cards that you got in the future don't really say to me reunion, because I feel like the relationship within itself was very difficult. And then also I feel as though with the Ten of Swords up, this is possibly when somebody is going to have like more so when they give up on something, especially with the Four of Cups, and it came up in the reverse position, followed by the Tower card. So yeah, I do believe that. All right, thank you for the Cash App. Hey, post in the chat what your question is, the person that just paid the Cash App payment. Thank you. Yeah, I feel like if you do get back together with him in the future, and to be honest with you, I'm not seeing it unless there is some serious changes that are to be made with the relationship. There's definitely some spiritual work that would have to be done. I'm not saying to get a reunion, but I'm saying that there's other spiritual work that can be done to help the situation out, especially if the two of you have a daughter together. Regardless if you get back together, it's still a very good idea for you to work out those issues, because what'll happen is that when you just put all that stuff away and you just avoid it, what ends up happening is it comes back up. I get the sense that your daughter is she's got to be younger than 10, around that age, but younger. Okay, cool. I'll get you, Third Eye Queen. I got you. I'm not seeing a reunion in the future. I feel as though it's probably in the cards for the situation to remain as it is, at least until some important stuff is addressed. Okay, because to be honest with you, that much difficulty in a relationship, it kind of makes you wonder, is it meant to be? So the question that I feel like I feel like either you or him have been asking yourselves is this meant to be? Am I putting my energy into something that's never going to work out? Okay. So in my opinion, just looking at the cards, I don't see a reunion, at least not in the near future. But I feel as though, like I said, and typically what ends up happening, and I can see this happening as well as in this situation, is the situation turning kind of negative. Okay. And that negative energy being around, your daughter, and that's not good. So, like I was saying, like, I don't feel that two people should necessarily stay together if they're having all this difficulty, especially when it comes to kids, because a lot of people will stay together for the kids, but they won't be happy. So it'll be like all of this unhappiness going on. And and the kid usually ends up suffering in the situation, whereas if the child just stayed with one parent that had a level head, and maybe they could work the situation out together to where you can start getting along and you can actually solve your issues, because I can tell that there's definitely a spiritual problem going on both sides, but especially with him because the high priestess comes up. And I can see that um there's definitely mommy issues, which it creates a problem with how he sees women. And that can be a big issue, it can be a big issue, okay? So I don't see it coming up in the future, at least not like automatically. But I do feel as though it's probably meant to be something else. It's probably meant for either you or the both of you to be somewhere else. I kind of feel as though the relationship has ran its course. Okay, especially with the tower. The tower, and then the card behind the tower was the Four of Cups reversed. So somebody needs to make some changes. More than likely, it's probably you. But then again, it's going to be on his side as well, because I do see him with some cheating in the past. I can actually see the person that he cheated with in the past. Is this an earth sign person? Okay. So, you know, did you have any other questions before I move on? All right, I'm gonna give you a couple of minutes to ask any other additional questions that you may have, and then I'll move on to Orion's daughter. Okay, give me a second. Why do you keep running?
चतुर्भुजा दशभुजा अष्टदशभुजा तथा कात्यायनी जगन्माता जगती परमेश्वरी जगद्बन्धुर्जगद्धात्री जगदानन्दकारिणी जगज्जीववती ह्रीमवती माया महालया नागयज्ञोपवीताङ्गी नागिनी नागशायिनी नागकन्या देवकन्या गान्धारी किन्नरीसुरी मोहरात्रि महारात्रि दारुणामासुरासुरी विद्याधरी वसुमती यक्षिणी योगिनी जरा राक्षसी डाकिनी वेदमयी वेदविभूषणा श्रुतिस्मृति महाविद्या गुह्यविद्या पुरातनी चिन्ता चिन्ता स्वधा स्वाहा निद्रा तन्द्रा च पार्वती अपर्णा निश्चला लोला सर्वविद्या तपस्विनी गंगा काशी शची सीता सती सत्यपरायणा नीति सुनीति सुरुचि स्तुष्टि पुष्टि धृति क्षमा वाणी बुद्धिर्महालक्ष्मी लक्ष्मीर्नील सरस्वती.
Okay. So, Colleen, before I look at your question, I do want to tell you what I can see. I do really feel that there was somebody that could have did some work on him and has been doing work on him for a while to get him. People are doing that very often. This is another occurrence that is happening. And I think, you know what I think it has to do with? I don't think that it really has to do with it actually being a shortage of men, but everybody having that frame of mind when it comes to men. Okay. Is he cheating now? I do see somebody in the picture. I don't think that he's necessarily happy with this other person that seems to be in the picture. But I think that what I can see is that I feel like it's sometimes when you have a child by a man and he finds someone else and that he doesn't have a child with, sometimes it can be less burden. Okay, because a lot of men are experiencing just having a lot of heavy burden and, not being able to handle the pressures of fatherhood and being a husband or you know what I'm saying? And so a lot of them will just go for what is easier. So there's a lot of different things going on. I do feel as though you need a private reading because this is just like a 10-minute chat reading. Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll make a playlist on the channel so that then it'll be open for you guys to see it. Okay, I'm gonna move on to Orion's daughter. Okay. You got a very complicated situation going on here though, Colleen. And I feel like I would definitely need to sit down in private with you. So if you want, whenever you're ready, you can get a private reading. And you literally just broke up a week ago. Well, if you get it, let me tell you something. If you get back with him, you need to deal with those issues because what I could see in the future was that it could completely, it's unresolved emotions or things that were not dealt with. Okay. Okay. So, Colleen, I'll come back to you in a second. Okay. Let me move on to Orion's daughter. Okay. I want to understand what is it about me that warrants jealousy and sabotage from people. And also what my aura is giving off that makes people give me the evil eye. Uh-oh. Orion's daughter, you might have something that people want. Okay. Spirit guides, what messages do you have for Orion's daughter? Why are people jealous of her? Why do people want to sabotage her? Okay, what messages do you have for Orion's daughter? If you're just coming in the room, guys, thank you so much. Hit the thumbs up. Make sure that if you want a reading that you send the $10 to Cashapp. If you want a consultation, you can also pay for your consultations via Cashapp, or if you want a 30-minute reading. If you want a 30-minute private reading with me, it's $30. If you want a 1-hour reading with me, it's $50 by Cashapp. And the consultations are $55 by Cashapp, okay? If you want a chat reading, it's $10. What messages do you have for Orion's daughter about why people are giving her the evil eye? Why are they jealous and trying to sabotage her? Okay. Orion's daughter, can you please post your zodiac sign in the chat room, please? Okay. Okay, so you're a Sagittarius. First of all, I want to talk about your focus. Okay, Orion's daughter. I understand, I understand folks trying to sabotage you. I totally understand that. Totally. You don't need to have fear of those people though. You don't have to actually fear that they have the power to sabotage you. I feel like, and I will look at your aura, but what I'm getting from the cards, 3 of Swords, 9 of Swords reverse. So I feel like, this is where I feel like it bothers you emotionally. And I feel like the issue is that most of the time um people are going to be judgmental when they first so different people have different perceptions, okay? It's all about their perception of the world. And we got a lot of negative people, okay? I can definitely see a situation happening with somebody in the past. And yes, they did decide to try to sabotage you, but you don't want that to be something that's negative and on your subconscious. So you don't want to fear that, okay? Don't ever fear that somebody can sabotage you. The instant you fear that they can sabotage you is when they're sabotaging you. And people do know that. People do know that. They do. This is people in social media, isn't it? If it's people in social media, I would stop paying attention to them. I would stop looking and seeing what they have to say about me, because people that have something negative to say about you, it usually is not going to change because that's how they see themselves. Is it in life or in social media? Well, whether or not it's in social media or not, I do feel as though if somebody is trying to sabotage you and is jealous of you, it is definitely time for you to cut cords with them and walk away. Because Eight of Cups and the Death card both come up in the reverse position. King of Swords comes in. This reminds me of a spirit guide or even Archangel Michael. And what he is saying is that you need to cut the cord from some people. There's some people you need to cut the cord from. Mm-hmm. Okay. So people that you don't know personally are doing that. Okay. Well, there is somebody personally in your life though that you do need to cut off, or this could be a memory. Okay. And I probably should have looked at your aura first, so I will do a chakra reading on you. There's some memories in the past definitely that you need to walk away from. Negative memories can come back and haunt us. They can torment us. When you have like a negative memory, it's time for you to let go of it emotionally and truly move on from it and close the door on it and do something. Like, I feel like focus on something else. I feel like your subconscious thoughts and feelings that are inward could have a lot to do with that. Okay. So it's not just the way that you are perceiving, it's not just the way other people are perceiving you, especially if it's a stranger, but it's the way you are perceiving other people and the way you're perceiving yourself. I noticed that you do talk about him a lot. He must have been a very negative person. Let me tell you something. Not have to be affected or afflicted by somebody just because you had a baby with them. Men would love that to be the truth, but spiritually, that's not the truth. So if it's not a spiritual truth, then it's not the truth in real life. Okay? It's not. So I feel like if it was a negative situation to where you felt emotionally abandoned, you felt heartbroken, this person did you wrong, it's time to cut that off, because then also I can tell you that a lot of his energy is still connected to you. Okay, so that's number one. The Wheel of Fortune comes up in the reverse position, and then the Chariot. So I feel like it's been time for you to cut ties with that, because I'm gonna tell you something. I'm not I don't even think about any of my exes. I don't even think about them. You need to get him out of your consciousness is what I would do. I know it's difficult, especially if you have a child with him, but a lot of the negative stuff, let that go. Does he still see the baby? Is he still seeing the child? Feel like moving on from that is going to be a big, important step. That's going to get rid of a lot of that negative energy and a lot of those negative thoughts. Okay. Well, see, that's good and bad because that means that you're going to have to sit down and explain to her one day why her father is not there, but that's okay. If that is the case, then you really need to cut him out of your mind and let go of all that pain, let go of all of that emotional abandonment and truly just cut the cord. Now, see, cord cuttings, they don't always happen overnight, especially when it's somebody that you have a child with. But it's something that you literally have to work at, and then eventually you'll be able to let him go and move forward because the Chariot does come up. 10 of Cups comes up for you. And then the Lovers. So I do see a lover coming in the future, Orion's daughter. It looks like it is a water sign. Okay. So this is either a Cancer, Scorpio, or a Pisces. I can try to clarify more on that. More than likely it's a Cancer though. Cancers actually make very good lovers. People don't appreciate us when they have us, but when they realize what all else is out there, they be like, oh God, I should have stuck with the Cancer. I feel like it's a Cancer. The 10 of Cups comes up. So you want a home, you want a family. That's actually coming to you, but it's not going to come until you let this person go. The Lovers and then the Judgment card in the reverse position. So what this is telling me is that I feel like what he did to you, it just kind of plays over in your mind all the time. And this is reflecting through how people are perceiving you. Oh God, he was a Gemini. Those are it's very difficult to break away from a Gemini. Geminis have a tendency to obsess and think about things over and over and over again because they avoid the truth. Geminis don't like to face the truth. So sitting there waiting on a Gemini to figure things out and face the truth, you could be waiting forever for that to happen. But the Lovers is representing definitely new love coming into your life, but then also you know what? I feel like he's probably casting out some pretty negative energies around you too, with the Judgment card coming up reverse. So we really need to look and see what impact he's having on your life too, because if you've never had a spiritual cleansing, if you've never cut the cord from him, his energy is still all around you. It's on your heart, it's in your head, and it's something that needs to be let go of. And see, for me, I'm a very forgiving person, but I'm sorry if you are a father and you're acting like your child doesn't even exist. It's something that you can forgive for yourself eventually, and you can even forgive that person. But if he's not willing to be a better person, then how do you do that? Okay, so you're going to have to give yourself close. Yeah, I know you don't want him. I know you don't want him because you've talked about him plenty of times. But the problem is that you're carrying it on your heart and you're carrying it with you, and it's reflecting off of you. See, whenever you hold on to grudges, Okay, you've got a grudge against him that you need to let go of. And trust me, I know what I'm talking about because I've seen people hold on to grudges for years and years, and it affects their love life. It affects every aspect of their life. So with him, it's time to let go and let go of that anger. Yeah, he does need to be dealt with, but let God handle him. If he does anything to purposely harm you spiritually, then it's a difference. And so I do feel like he is harming you spiritually. I really do. Let me see what kind of energies he's bringing in. Because, people that we have children with, and even sometimes people that, especially when it comes to males, they can have a very, very negative impact on life. Okay, I remember I was under a full-fledged demonic attack years ago, and I drove up to the mall, and everything was happening to me at once. My family was acting crazy with me. I had just broken up with my ex, and it was so weird because I had never experienced this. But there was this guy up at the mall, and he just was like, you know, just cussed me out. I didn't even know this person. So I feel like there's something that he's doing. Let me see what he's doing. Well, you can get to know me personally. I get to know a lot of peeps personally. So just contact me. Okay, spirit guides, what is Orion's daughter? What is her ex doing? What exactly is he doing? Why did the judgment card reverse come up after him? You got to do some spiritual work. I already feel it to get rid. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So he's definitely, I'm going to tell you something. I do feel as though he's using these male energies. He's using masculine power to keep you stuck. Thank you, Araceli. Glad to see you back too. He's keeping masculine power to keep you stuck. So I see him doing something, but then again, it's something that I feel that he's doing with his head. Some of the cards that I'm seeing for you definitely can tell, because how long ago did y'all break up, Orion's daughter? I can't really tell. It looks like it's definitely been long enough that spirits feel as though you should go ahead and let go of those energies and move forward. Yeah, I was gonna say 6 years because the Six of Wands is reversed. So you're going on the sixth year, and I feel like you've had issue after issue with definitely I can see he's not paying child support like he should. Just and if it's not that he's not paying child support, I feel like he's not paying child support. He's not really taking responsibility for your daughter. So there's literally no need for you to even think about him. Otherwise, he'll just haunt you for years. Yeah. So he's not being a responsible father. And for some reason, when men do that, it affects the woman negatively. Like, that's so unfair, but it's the truth. And I can sense this unfair judgment around you because of what he's not doing. Y'all know that society will judge the woman if the man is not paying child support or if the man is not being responsible. Now, that's not fair because he's got his own free will. Okay, so a man has his own free will. It's not the woman's fault that the man is not doing the right thing. He should be able to do the right thing within itself. You shouldn't have to force him. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Araceli. So now the hanging man is in the reverse position. So is the chariot. It's reversed. Queen of Swords comes up. This represents him. He's definitely I feel like there may have been something, either something that he said or something that he's saying or doing. The energy that he is conveying to you um, is that he doesn't want you to move on. Okay. It's like he doesn't want you to move on. I can tell that the energies that he's bringing to you is that he doesn't want you to move on with your life, that he wants to be, because some of them will be just as jerky as possible just to keep you stuck. So if I were you, I would just let go completely. You don't have time to sit and wait for him to figure it out. You don't have time for that. So, and that's what the hanging man is saying. It probably could have been resolved a long time ago, but his energies and frequencies, and it tells me that he does not want what's best for your daughter. Exactly. He's doing it with psychic energy. And then also, I feel as though there are some times when I can see where you're under psychic attack. And the intent of the psychic attack is to block you psychologically as well as mentally. So he's definitely put some mental blockages. Nine of Wands is reversed. Has he been sending people to you? I think you mentioned that he sent his brother over. Yeah, people that you don't talk to, they can definitely do that to you. And they'll lie and pretend that they're not, but that's exactly what they're doing. So if I were you, I would get as much as like get him out of your subconscious, throw away everything that you have of his, and do a banishing for him and a cord cutting and banish him. Because otherwise, you could go another 5 years like this, and that's not good. That's not good at all. Okay. Let me look at your aura real quick, and then I'm going to move on. But I'm pretty sure because not just a Gemini man, but any man can do that to you. That they'll mess up your frequencies, and that's what they mean to do. They want to mess you up. You're welcome. Spirit, show me Orion's daughter, root chakra, sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, crown, and overall aura. Okay, so he's got a pretty tight cord to you that you need to get cut. The hanging man is the overall energies of your aura, which it's okay, but I feel as though there's something in your aura that kind of pushes things away or pushes people away, and it's almost like it's deflecting the like it's almost like your aura is not bringing necessarily what you want in. And the reason why is because now the Two of Swords is on your root chakra, so I can definitely see some things going on. You had mentioned generational. Okay. Yeah, they can really do that, and you can't allow them because they can mess up your life. Yeah. Now, your sacral has Temperance in the reverse position. So I feel like there's definitely that cord. Have you gotten any cleanses or anything since since you've broke up with him, like in this 5 years? Because I feel like you should, because it's looks like it's down in your sacral chakra, and this is where he this is where he made his connection, okay, with you. So he's connected at the cord, and this is your reproductive organs and stuff, okay? Now, your solar plexus, the 10 of wands comes up. So I feel as though, the confidence that you're supposed to have, the because your solar plexus is what attracts people to you. What's happening is there's some sort of struggle. Now he also comes up on the heart chakra. So are you experiencing, okay, yeah, you need a really strong cleanse or core cutting. Okay. Spirits clarify the King of Swords. Okay, so yeah, King of Swords is the heart chakra, and this is directly pointed to him. So you definitely need a general cleanse. The Five of Cups reversed is on your throat. And you know what I've noticed? I've noticed that with the Geminis, I think that their ruling planet Mercury, not Mercury. Basically, it's connected to the mind. So I feel as though there's some energies around your throat chakra. The throat chakra is responsible for if people trust you. It's responsible for people's reaction to you. It is. All of these things play a role in the way people perceive you, the way people feel around you. Now your energy is very good from what I can feel, but I feel as though it's got something to do with, you definitely got some kind of hex or something on you. This is what I'll say. I hate to sound cliche, but you already knew that coming in. Third eye, the Emperor comes up. So feel like what you need to do, because the Chariot is on the crown chakra in the reverse position. You definitely have blockages in your chakras, which can create a huge problem for you. Okay, so the crown chakra is very, very important, and the reason why is because this is what leads you. This is the connection that you have with your spirit guide, your higher self. I feel like there's some I feel like it needs to be opened. Like I feel like it's closed off. And especially if you're having things like headaches, if you're having things like dizziness, confusion, when you get ready to get up and do something, you that kind of that confused energy comes over you, and it's almost like it's an issue with, it's like a lack of direction. It causes you to have like a lack of direction. So you definitely do, but before you get a generational hex remover, I would get a cleanse, because that'll help you out tremendously. Okay. If you feel like your cleanse that you did wasn't strong enough, you guys can always reach me, Orion's daughter. You can contact me for a cleanse. The cleanses are only 300. The Gen Hex removers, that's something that typically my clients will do once they've gotten a cleanse and they say, okay, I can see what you mean by that, but I feel like my family is holding me back. I feel like I can't get past, what has been normal in my family. Okay. So yeah, contact me about that cleanse. Okay. You're welcome, sweetie. Okay. Who is next? Let me see. I don't want to say you guys' names, like your actual real names. I don't want to do that. So what I want you guys to do, okay. Let me see here. Okay, this is what I want you guys to do. Thank you, Orion's daughter. This is what I want you guys to do. If you paid by Cash App, I want you to go ahead and post. You know what? Because I can't figure out who is who in here. I'm sorry. Okay, so Third Eye Queen, because these are you guys' real names, and I'm not gonna dare do that. I'm not gonna announce you guys' real names. Let me see here. Here's what I want you guys to do. I want you to post. Okay, this is what you can do. If you paid by Cash App, post your initials in the chat with your question. Okay, let's make it simple. Okay. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Okay, so Tanisha, go ahead and post your question in the chat. Okay, guys, try not to post your first and last name in here for privacy purposes for you guys, okay? Tanisha, it's okay for you to go ahead and post the question in the chat unless you wanted to speak with me privately. Okay, what will the new year look like? Good question. Again, before I get started on Tanisha's reading, go ahead and post your initials and your question in the chat if you paid by Cash App, okay? All right, spirit guides, guardian angels, ascended masters, what messages do you have for Tanisha about what the year 2020 looks like? Okay, show me the overall. Okay, so the Two of Wands flipped over. What else are you seeing? Okay, Two of Cups. So that looks like 2020 right there, the 2 and the 2. Okay, what messages do you have for the year 2020? Okay. Okay, well, I can definitely see love coming up in the year 2020. The Two of Wands and the Two of Cups comes up. So I feel like as far as with relationships, I can see new love or either renewed love because the Six of Wands comes up. But it looks more like new love to me. The Star card comes up. So I definitely do see that. I feel like you're going to make some advances spiritually. The Star card can represent new opportunities and blessings. So I see a lot of blessings with opportunity. But I will tell you that there is a person here that if they come in as the Page of Swords reversed, the Fool reversed, the Five of Wands reversed, the Six of Coins is reversed, and then the Ace of Coins is, the Ace of Cups is reversed, and then the Empress upright. So you definitely have a negative spirit. The spirit does come in through people. I feel like this is an energy that you need to cut ties with because this is creating disharmony in your life. You know, everybody has somebody or something that they need to cut off because this is something that's holding you back. I see opportunity coming up for you, not just love, but then also business. And then the Six of Wands comes up. So this is like an important position that I can see you in. Okay. And being in a place where You are well respected and recognized. I feel like recognition is coming. Okay. But I will tell you that, and yeah, everybody does have to have like there's always going to be adversity. But I feel like this is somebody that's been hanging on for way too long. And it's somebody that you should have cut ties with a long time ago, because the Fool comes up in the reverse position. Feel like this, whoever this is, they work against you because they're bad for you energetically. Yeah, that's what I thought, because spirits, I mean, literally, and this is crazy the way that your cards laid out. Literally, you got Two of Wands upright, Two of Cups upright, Six of Wands upright, the Star card upright, but then Page of Swords comes up reversed. And then every card after that is reversed. The Fool reversed, the Five of Wands came up reversed, the Six of Coins came up reversed, and then the Ace of Cups reversed, and then the Empress. So Spirits is saying that there's some cords that you need to cut to whoever this is. They putting a bad taste in my mouth. They just seem very untrustworthy. They talk too much. Oh my God, y'all. Like, I have to talk a lot because of my job, because I'm actually saying something. But this person, they talk a lot of BS, and they just seem to have a negative impact on your psyche. Okay. It's like they say negative things to you. And I actually had to break away from that too, because let me tell you, there is no need for you to deal with people that always have something negative to say. Okay. You don't have to deal with that. It's not going to make you a stronger person. What happens is that your third eye and your brain and your crown is like it holds things in your memory, and anything that you have in your mind can stick with you. What's your zodiac sign, third eye queen? I feel like this person needs to be cut. Okay, you're a Sagittarius. Whoever this is, I mean, I could say that they're an air sign, but to be honest with you, they could be another fire sign. But the Page of Swords did come up. This person could either be an Aquarius, either an Aquarius or a Gemini. Do you know who is that? Is that the zodiac sign of the person? They gotta have it somewhere in their chart. If it's not, this person just seems to take away from you, and it's almost like they chip at you a little at a time. Like, and this is how they do it. Like, 1 minute they may be positive, but then every once in a while they're saying they're sending you negative subliminals. And I can't deal with folks like that. Like they'll be positive one day, and then the next day, they're saying something totally different to you, to try to manipulate your mind and try to manipulate your energies, and to get you to second guess yourself. Okay. I can see that whoever this is, they definitely do that. You don't want that to follow you into the new year. You definitely want I can see better relationships coming, but then this person seeming to come in, and I don't know, they talk too much. I can hear them talking. That you need a cord cutting from whoever this is, and probably do a beef tongue on them and bury it somewhere, and put an intent in that sucker that says that this person and their lies and their foul ways cannot affect you negatively, because that person does feel like they have power over you. and they have had it over you to where you did lose money. So you don't want to have another repeat. Definitely get rid of that person. And then the Empress comes up. So I can see financial opportunities and money coming to you next year, but you have to take those steps. Okay. And most of the time, when we're trying to walk away from people, like you can just walk away and then it's done. But I feel like this person, puts forth an extra effort to tear you down. So this is the reason why sometimes spiritual work is necessary. I just feel like this person has some kind of connection to you. Okay. I'm so sorry that what happened? Hold on, let me see. Oh God, why is it always the baby daddy? What is wrong with these people? And you know what? You can tell that on some level, there's some sort of curse, because why do they do that? Why do they think that that negativity is supposed to benefit the kids? That is such a disappointment. To say the least, that's a disappointment. So if I were you, I would definitely cut him off. I'm sorry. I feel like if your kid's father is having a negative effect on you, more than likely this person is very narcissistic and demonic, whoever they are, um, not in their right mind. hmm If it's your kid's father, you gotta spiritually cut the cord from him. Yeah, yeah, but that this is consistently been the plight of many women, is this man that you've had a baby with, and it almost makes you wonder, did this person breed me for some other cruel purpose? Like, did they breed with me just so that they could send me through a bunch of changes? Like, what is this person, and what was their agenda to begin with? You know what I'm saying? It's almost like they're working extra hard to, prove that a woman should just stay with the baby daddy and beg on her knees for him to stay with her, or else, we're going to make negative stuff happen to you. So, something very inhuman about that. I don't trust it. And I'm sure you don't either. So, I would definitely walk away from him and get you something else. Now I will tell you that it's a possibility that, because I feel as though if you get rid of his negative influence, I can see a new lover coming in, and you could even be, you might even have another child next year. You don't necessarily have to rush into it, but I feel like you wouldn't be rushing, especially if the past 4 years everything has been taken away from you. hmm Let him go, and let go of all of his anger, his strife, his problems, his struggle. You have every right to do that. You have a divine right to do that. You don't have to deal with that. Like, men think that when they have a baby with us, own us, and that is not the truth. That is such a violation of the human spirit. It's disgusting. It's disgusting that men think that way. It is. Okay. You said your tubes are tied. Well, that don't mean nothing. Sometimes it don't. Or are they cut and burnt? Well, maybe this is something else. Maybe it's not a baby, but I do feel like even though your tubes are tied, I've seen women get pregnant with tubes tied. Now, if they're cut and burnt, then that would possibly be virtually impossible. But, even if your tubes are cut and burnt, you could actually do IVF. A lot of women have done that if they decided to have another baby. Well, you better be careful then. But it's not a curse, it would be a blessing. I feel as though your negative experience with the baby father probably turned you that way. But when you meet somebody that you love that's actually a good man, you'll probably have a change of heart. Okay. Something that the two of you are going to create together. Let's put it like that. I feel like it could be a baby because the Empress comes up. This could also be money and financial security because that's what you want. You want happiness, you want support, you want financial security. Yeah, but Araceli says that she met two people that have gotten their tubes tied and burned and they still got pregnant. So next year, make sure you come back and let me know if you actually conceived and met somebody because you just never know. Sometimes love can be very powerful. But I know that having that negative experience with him, it kind of it brings this negativity around having babies and stuff, it really does. Yeah. So I can definitely see you gonna meet somebody. But I do feel as though he'll hear it through the grapevine. So that's why sometimes when you meet somebody special, it's good for you to keep it to yourself. Okay. It's good for you to do that. So I do see good things coming, but you just need to spiritually and etherically cut this person off because he definitely got a root in you because the Five of Wands is reversed. Definitely can see some energies around. Definitely can see some loss that he could possibly cause, which is ridiculous. If you causing the mother of your child to lose anything, I think that should be grounds enough to put these men in jail. If you can prove that this man did something to make something bad happen to you, they need to start putting those kind of men in jail or trying to rehabilitate them or maybe putting them in a crazy house or something because I've been through that and that is very painful. I've had my ex call up to my job, try to, got me fired, made me lose a very valuable promotion. And they just don't think of the negative impact that they can actually have on their children. And it's extremely devastating, especially in a world that is so extremely hard on women to begin with. Okay. We already get discriminated against from housing. Sometimes if if people know that you by yourself, they'll doubt your ability to pay your own bills, and that lowered expectation of the woman really does do a lot of harm to us. Okay. So yeah, but that's what I see for you. Okay. I'm going to move on unless you have another question, or if you need clarification. Um, the next person that sent me the Cash App, can you put your initials and your question in the chat so that I'll know who you are? Okay, Araceli, what was your question? Okay, I know who you are. Did you post your question, Araceli? You're welcome, Third Eye Queen. Good luck and everything. And if you need me, the link to my website is below, okay? Yeah, I can't stand that, guys. Until they post it, let me get on my soapbox a little bit. It wasn't until I had to move away from my hometown that I finally gained some kind of freedom from my ex. Okay. Okay. All right, Araceli, let's go ahead and get you taken care of. I wanted to ask about a couple men and their intentions. There's this guy I've met at work, Wayne, wanted to know if he is interested in me or is he just being friendly? Okay. All right, spirit guides, is Wayne interested in Araceli? Is he really interested? What are you saying? Okay, yes or no? Major arcanas and even numbers is yes. Odd numbers and core cards is no. Now, these yes or no questions, they can be really, really accurate, but you can also get like a very accurate answer from it. Okay. And I feel like, what was I going to say about that? It can be accurate, and sometimes you can get the answer that you don't want, but it's definitely relevant. So, this is what I want to tell you. I see a third party, and things are bad between him and that person. I do kind of feel as though he may be a covert narcissist, very up and down. There's a third party that I can see here. Who's the third party, spirit? Show me who this third party is. So there's already somebody in the picture. It's an earth sign person. Yeah, there's actually somebody that he's involved with, and I wouldn't get involved with it because it seems like there's another woman. Okay, because the cards that I got was the King of Wands, Page of Cups reversed. This is probably where he might just be friendly, or he may even be attracted, but he hasn't really made any offers or asked you out. But I also feel as though he's probably somebody that you definitely want to avoid. Okay. The King of Coins is reversed. He's with a covert narcissist. He's in a relationship with a narcissist. It's two narcs together. And there is definitely a spirit guide that is protecting you from him. Yeah, he's got somebody, and trust me, it's a mess. It is a mess. Yeah. Yeah, you don't want that. So, Three of Wands is reversed, and then the Two of Coins is reversed. So this would be a negative situation for you. So I wouldn't even I keep it as a friend. And I feel like he's attractive though. I feel like he's got some attractability about him, but there's a lot of stuff about him that you don't want to find out the hard way. What's the other one? Because you said you wanted to ask about two men. What's the other one's name? Believe it or not, two narcissists together, very often with narcissistic unions, both narcs will allow the other person to cheat. They get a kick out. It's almost like you become supply. You would become narcissistic supply for him and that third party. Okay, spirits, what is Arthur's true intentions towards Araceli? Spirits, what are you saying? Spirit guides, guardian angels, what is Arthur's true intentions? He's an ex, but he comes back around time to time and recently mentioned having me fly out to visit him. Okay. I don't really see it going anywhere with him. You know, they say that a person is an ex for a reason. I can tell that he's extremely manipulative. I feel like it was probably not exactly what you wanted previously. The magician comes up reversed. I feel like he's just stringing you along, and it's not, I don't feel like it's going to turn into a relationship. You got the magician reversed, the sun upright, the Two of Wands reversed, Seven of Cups, and then Eight of Wands reversed. So I feel like he's just kind of looking for probably a good time, or he's just looking for, he if he's coming back from time to time, I don't feel like he has the intent on doing anything else except for maybe friends with benefits. Mm-hmm. Well, your intuition is telling you right. And men like that, let me warn you about these men that just, hey, let's be friends with benefits. They pushing everything away from you at the same time. So I feel like his energy is possibly very isolating and very manipulating. And what it does is it slows you down. It keeps you from your destiny. I feel like there is either a twin flame or a lover that's trying to come in, but I feel like his energy could block that. So it's something that spirits is saying that would more than likely end up still being a waste of time. Okay. Let me see this. Let me see if I can see this new lover that's coming in. Around from time to time. They trying to bait and switch. He's a bait and switch is what he is. So, okay. You said you feel like we all have been corrupted by generation. Mm-hmm. Also, it's almost like a rebellion because, everybody wants a stable relationship. Everybody wants a love that they can depend on. And so I feel like if your parents didn't get it, then they're going to think it's impossible for you to get it a lot of the times. And I'm telling you, that's in most cases. I swear to you, even though you may have a good parent, they may have good intentions, but they just don't really have a lot of hope for the world, period. Which, in my opinion, when the elders don't have hope in the world, that means that they don't have a lot of hope for us, which is very bad. Looking at this new lover that's coming up, I can see a fire air. I feel like the chart must be dominant in fire and air. They seem to be getting out of a relationship. I do see them coming into your life within is this the next year? When is this, spirit? Show me when. This is for Araceli. Okay, so the lovers and then this is next year. This is next year, but I feel like it's going to take all the way up until September or October of next year when I see a new lover coming in, Araceli. And part of the reason is because there's way too many energies that are interfering. Um, you got Queen of Swords, Page of Wands, Three of Swords reverse, and then Page of Swords reverse, and then Ace of Wands. So there does seem to be a new lover that seems to be trying to come in, but I feel like it's being blocked by somebody in the past, which is usually the case. That's why there's a lot of men that are under fire. The universe is literally trying to knock on these men's doors for them to stop exerting that male dominance to try to take away and snatch away your life and snatch away years of your life. Okay, spirits, is this Sean? You know what? I think it is. Yeah, the strength card came up. Is he a Leo? Because the strength card represents the Leo. No, it's not fair. And Orion's daughter, a lot of women have been saying that. The unfair judgment. It's okay for a man to move on and have another family because he's not happy with the situation. But when a woman does it, she's placed under very harsh judgment by not, you know what, this can be by court systems. This can be by Anybody that has a patriarchal view, you have to call to the universe to give you that fairness, because otherwise you won't get it. Okay, he's a Sag. I would have guessed a Leo. Spirit did say yes. Yeah, I feel like it's definitely shine. But what's going on with him? Is he trying to break up with somebody? Because whoever it is, it seems like they're dealing with something right now. But I feel like it's supposed to happen sometime in March, but it's definitely going to be delayed. And there seems to be a um, a love blockage for some reason. And then also this has a lot to do with greed. A lot to do with greed. Men can be naturally greedy. They want several women that they can choose from out of their black book. Okay. They want to have several in rotation. And so you've got to sit around while this polygamous man, who's not really practicing polygamy, he's just hanging his hat wherever he can. I guess you're supposed to sit around for this man and just be at his beck and call. So that's a serious problem. Oh, okay. So that's the one that's married. Well, maybe he's going to finally leave that person. I think that I did not tell you that he was going to eventually leave her, but that it would take some time. But that's not going to come up until next year, though. Okay. Now, keep in mind, Araceli, you have choices. You have choices in the matter. Okay. So you don't necessarily have to choose that if you don't want to. Okay. But from what I can see, yeah, the spirits did confirm that. And then also the Six of Coins does represent a possible reunion between the two of you. Okay. All right, cool. Well, I'm glad that those readings jive together, because it usually does add up. So just be patient, and like, here's the thing, and not saying that you're doing this, but you don't necessarily have to rush into a relationship. But until you get that relationship, I feel like it's important to work on yourself spiritually and say, okay, this person ain't doing me no good. That person ain't doing me no good. Their energy is off of me. I'm going to free and clear myself from all these people that is clearly not working out with. And then that's when you'll be ready for love. Okay. Thank you, Araceli. You're welcome. Okay, so the next person that sent me a Cashapp, if you can please post your initials and your question in the chat, please. I'm sorry, Araceli. The reason why you guys can't see my face is because I'm kind of like laying around. I'm kind of like laying around, just got on like a raggedy t-shirt, and my hair ain't done and all of that good stuff. The next time I do this, I'll come on camera. And then plus I finally got the chance to charge my phone up. So I'll do that next time I come back to you guys. Oh, I'm seeing 1111. There was 1111. Now it's 1011. It was 10 viewers. It was 11 viewers and 11 upvotes. All right. So if you guys paid by Cash App, go ahead and post your question in the chat, please. Oh, you know what? Y'all are some night owls just like me. But this full moon has, like, my energy is just really, really high tonight. I feel so energetic. Okay, I'm gonna wait for you guys to come into the chat. I don't know. It seemed like maybe some people must have fell asleep waiting for their reading. Cause I don't think I've done everybody. Have I done everybody? I don't think so. I feel like there's like one or two people left. Oh Lord, let me go ahead and get my pen because I'm gonna write down whoever I'm gonna write down the readings that I did because if I have to contact those folks and give them a phone reading, I'll do it that way. Since they seem to have left the chat. Okay, let me write down who all I've. Okay, this pen is not working. Let me see. Thank you, Araceli. You know what? My private readings are even more accurate because there's not so many other people that are, and it's not that, other energies or whatever. So feel free to contact me for a personal reading also. Okay, hold on, guys. I'm writing down who all I've done the readings for so far. There is one other person that I haven't. Okay. Okay, let me write that down. I do love what I do. I do. It's one of the most amazing things. If you guys want to get into reading cards or maybe even doing spiritual work for people, you guys can contact me because I do offer tarot card classes on a one-on-one basis. Okay. I don't do group classes. I do one-on-one tarot card coaching and classes. Okay. Tell us about you. When did you know you had a gift? Araceli, that would have been when I was a little kid. When I first, when people in my family first realized that I was a weirdo, um, was my aunt that raised me from a baby until I was 5, and I grew up listening to her, like, cause my aunt. Okay, y'all have an auntie, and I just love her so much. I miss her. I need to call her, by the way. But you know how you have like an elder in your family, like they just tell you the same story over and over again. Like I grew up, like every time my aunt would see me, she would always tell me, she would always say, cause her son who helped her raise me, passed on of leukemia. And I was really, really close to him from what my family tells me, they will always say, I can't believe that you don't remember him. I can't believe that you don't remember him. But I was like 3 when he passed on. So I was very young. And I think it was very traumatizing because they said that I was actually there when he passed on and I was very close to him. And so my auntie used to communicate with him through me. And she said that after he passed away, I would still talk to him as if he was there. So I was communicating with his spirit at the age of like 3 and probably until I was 5. And then that was when my mother got me back. So she raised me until I was 5. And like she would all like every time I see her, because my family used to be really close when my grandma was alive. And like we would always get together every third, like it was every Friday and every Saturday, but then it turned into every Thursday, every Friday, after Saturday, every Saturday, every Sunday. And, even though I'm kind of estranged from my family right now, like people, because I live with my grandmother, me and my mother lived with my grandmother for years. And like all of my cousins would call, they'd be like, "What y'all doing tonight?" They'd be like, "Who all over there?" And so if I was there, they would always come just because I was there. So, yeah. Yeah, so and so so listening to those stories and then also being extremely sensitive as a child, um I don't remember most of my childhood. I have like a very selective few memories of my childhood, which is very weird because this is the way I see it. Probably up until I went through it in shifts. So it was almost like I was halfway here, but then halfway somewhere else. So I would always, even as a child, I remember being communicated with by spirit guides. I had premonitions in my dreams. Okay. So I would have premonitions in my dreams. As far as when I was an adult, let me tell you guys about this. So, first of all, growing up, I would always feel when a woman was pregnant for some reason. Like when my cousins got pregnant, I just, for some reason, knew that they were pregnant. As I got older, I realized that I was very empathic. And the reason why is because I would like literally sit next to people and I could just intuitively tell what they were feeling. And so, for example, like there were, and I didn't really trip much on it because it was something that I was used to. But like for example, I was going through a lot of changes, and I ended up going to visit one of my uncle's ex-girlfriends, and her ear was hurting. So I was sitting next to her in the car, and I said, all of a sudden my right ear started hurting. So I asked her, I said, "Is your right ear hurting?" And she was like, "Actually, it is." She was like, "How'd you know?" I said, "Because I can feel it." And I just started having those experiences after that. And the older I got, and like spirit called me for years. It did. Spirits called me for years because I had like several opportunities with like, good jobs or whatever, but it would always be something that happened. And then my auntie, she definitely discouraged me from being a nurse. Because at first I was going to get into nursing, but I'm glad that I didn't. But it's just a sense of knowing. And then also, when I was about in my 20s, I started to realize that I could tell what spiritual gifts a person that would have because I had an aunt that was married into my family. And I swear I knew this lady could read minds. And see, I can read minds too. But it's like with certain people, like I can tell, that they know what I'm thinking. And it's so weird. And so I would be able to pick up on vibrations and stuff and energies from everything. Yeah, Araceli, yeah, that's why I didn't do it. Everything that happened to me in my life led me to doing this, and I felt the most freedom that I've ever felt. I'm the happiest that I've ever been in my life about what I'm doing, and I feel good about what I'm doing. So it was something that, but I think the reason why I didn't, because I probably would have got into it when I was younger. I think if my aunt would have kept raising me, because she would always come over and the family they be getting a drink on and stuff, and she would always say, your mama should have just left you with me. She would always say that. And I think that if I would have stayed with her, she would have more so encouraged me, because she used to always tell me that I was communicating with her deceased son. Like, and that was the seed that got planted. And I actually do have a memory of that, but it's very faint, because I think that when he passed on, I think that I went through a lot. I think it was very traumatizing for me, because I was a very smart kid, but then again, I was very mysterious, people. And then also, people had so much, it was so much focus on me. There was always so much controversy around me for some reason. And I was like, well, what is it about me? I was like, why? Yeah, I am definitely a medium. Yeah, definitely a medium. My skills, I realized that I was a medium when I was a baby, when I was like a young child. And you can even tell by looking at some of my pictures. Like, when I look at myself, I'll be like, wow, I can tell what I was thinking in this picture. So yeah, so I love what I do. I really do. I wouldn't want to do anything else except for this, except for maybe um selling houses or being an investor. If I were to do any kind of like stream, like, I would probably do that on the side maybe. But there's so many doors, that there's so many avenues and so many opportunities, doing what I do. But you definitely can't do it just to be doing it. Like, you have to love what you're doing when you're doing this business. And then another thing, you have to know the right thing to do. If you're going to be reading cards for people, you have to protect yourself. You have to make sure you clear yourself, okay? Because some of these readings, like, a lot of y'all do readings for you and everything be cool, but then some people that I do readings for, like, it'll just touch me very deeply, or it'll be a spirit that I have to get off of me. But that does happen sometimes, but not too often. And you just got to have trust in what you're doing and faith in what you're doing. For example, if I'm exercising a bad spirit or getting rid of a bad spirit, or like a demonic entity, you have to believe that you are doing what your intent is. So a big portion of this is trusting in yourself, and then also believing. If you're just doing something and you don't really have a real belief in it, like, I believe in witchcraft, I believe in spirits, I believe in everything that I talk about. And so it's a way of life too. It is. It doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that you can't enjoy life, or that you always have to be looking out for a spirit. It doesn't mean that, but being that I do this for a living, and then I'm also on YouTube, my spirits will warn me when a negative spirit seems to be coming. But I will tell you that most of the negative spirits that I've encountered the past 3 years have been a direct connection with the landlord that I live under. Because for some reason, my landlord was sending a lot of spirits over here. So, guys, before you move into these places and before you sign a contract with somebody, do a reading on them, because I did not do a reading on the landlord. I looked at the general spirits in the house, but I didn't look at the landlord. And I think because I was going too fast. So it literally takes a quick 5 or 10 minutes to say, hey, I'm thinking about you know, dealing with this landlord to rent from. And if, you know, I can imagine that if I would have threw the cards, then I would have avoided this place altogether. But then again, I believe in divine timing and I believe everything happens for a reason. No, I don't believe that my spirits would lead me here for something bad to happen to me. I have way too much faith and way too much trust in my spirits. But I do believe that it was meant to be because it was meant to teach me something and it was something that I had to go through. Okay. So it's really important for you. Um, can I connect to someone on here? Or is that more private? You mean connect how? You mean connect with their spirits or connect with them? I've had a lot of people that have tried to connect like what do you mean by connect? Because I don't understand. I guess I'm not understanding your question. I'm sorry. Anyway, this is what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to get out of here because I've been over here over 2 hours. I got to go and get some rest and stuff and then probably have me like a little okay, connect with someone that passed on. Okay, that's very interesting that you asked that. So I am on YouTube a lot, and sometimes when YouTube will bring up certain things in the suggested or certain videos that I'll run across, or like even on the internet, like period, certain articles, I do feel that there are some spirits that or people or spirits of people that do draw me to them or like their channels and stuff. Because there was a couple of Asia McGowan is one of them, and then Ricardo Lopez is one of them that I feel like I don't feel like it was a connection, but I feel like I don't watch nothing on YouTube, without it being a purpose. Okay, so as far as spirits coming through YouTube, heck yeah. There's a lot of spirits on here, but they're mainly for, research or maybe things that I might want to talk about. I love doing paranormal research. It's one of my favorite things to do, which is basically what I do for a lot of people. Because people will be, a lot of people contact me with spiritual disturbances. And those people are not crazy. The first thing that people want to say when like it's just a knowing where that something spiritual is happening, they'll say, oh, this person is crazy. Well, crazy, I guess, if you want to call being very psychic and very intuitive crazy, then I guess it is what it is. But if people would just have better intents, because you know how like when a bad person, when or like you can feel a bad spirit on them and you just know they bad and you'll tell them, you'll say, hey, I felt this type of way, and they'll say, oh, you're crazy. It's like, well, yeah, I guess I am, because I could, first of all, I could see coming what it is that you did, but not only could I see it, but I could feel it, and it's not that you're crazy, it's just that you're really tapped in. Most people just have negative spirits that they need to banish from off of them and they would be okay. But it just really depends on what it is that you're dealing with, because if you are under the control of something demonic, it can have a really, really negative effect on you. Okay? It just really depends on what it is. Okay? So, but yeah, as far as somebody that passed on, yeah, a lot of the videos, I actually like to watch a lot of videos about people that have either passed on in mysterious ways, or, I like to watch the videos about hauntings and stuff. So I hope that answers your question. Okay, guys, so this is what I'm going to do. If If I didn't do your reading and you sent me a Cash App, um, text me at 770-686-7461. Or what I'll do is I'll try to go in and I'll say, hey, I didn't get to do your reading for you. Do you want to do a quick phone reading? And then we can get that set up and scheduled, okay? Because I can see a lot of people, they're not in here. If I don't hear from you, thanks for the donation. You're welcome. I'll see you guys later. Have a wonderful evening. Have a happy full moon. And if you guys need to reach me for anything, the link to my website is below. Again, you can also Cash App me. Y'all have a good night, okay? And if you guys need to reach me for a consultation, you either Cash App me or go to the website, okay? It's up to you. All right. Love and light.